have been working on ground here in Bangalore for especially the rainwater harvesting purposes and all these kind of stuffs. Uh, so the challenge in Bangalore is little unique, right? I mean, if we want to store the water underground, not over the ground, we always look for some kind of a modular structure. But what I see from your presentation is that most of the units, the bladders or the whatever you just showed us, it's all above the ground. So just a suggestion is that if you can make some modular stuff which can be fixed by digging a pit inside the ground, that would be really beneficial, especially for these kind of terrains in South Asia. Just a suggestion.
You
Kind of
can put the bladders inside in the ground. There is no problem. The
Mhm.
bladder are sealed, so you took the you take the pipes out and that's it. There is no problem to put them under the ground. Of course, it depends how deep, because then we get into the weight situation. But how much weight will be on them? But if it's not deep, then there is not a problem at all.
The EPA would be promoting a specific solution. I'm sharing that now on the screen. What made that possible? Yeah, and they, right. So they've actually private labeled this water on wheels cart, which is your cart. When someone, the reason Alex and I got reconnected is because someone posted this on the Global Waterworks site, and I thought, oh my goodness, that looks like Alex's technology. And when you have a doctor within the EPA who knows they have a need and you fit it perfectly, unlike anyone else, I guess that was key. Are you seeing much business? Is there a continual flow through of that, or is it?
We're seeing some business with them. Not. Hopefully, it will be increased in the future. Their business is also very event related. Whenever there is a disaster, then they are ramping up and preparing for support.
Mm-hmm. Got
but
it.
we're working with them for almost 8 years now.
Because you talk about membrane filtration, reverse osmosis. What
Yes.
about cleaning in place? Because depending on the water quality, your filters will start plugging and not producing 500 liters an hour anymore. So how does that work?
Actually, so first of all, as a standard, we put 3 filters at the entrance of the system. It's 5 micron, 10 micron, and 25 micron. Now, depends on the water source. We would recommend to install additional, we call it pre-filters, in order to reduce the load on the membrane and increase the lifetime. For example, if the water are very hard, we very much recommend to use a water softener, because hard water significantly shortening the lifetime of the membranes. And because the membranes is the expensive part, and those filters are relatively low cost, then we're doing several pre-filters in front of the Easy Purer, in order to make sure that all everything that we can get rid of out of the water before the system is getting rid, so it's easier and cheaper.
He has a very deep message, which brings us the bright end of the tunnel. For the first time, I see a gentleman talking about agriculture and irrigation with 500 liters, 2,000 liters tanks. All these centuries, the human civilization was busy building billions of gallons of a day irrigation systems. Now, manufacturing such containers and transport and all that, that can be our civilization for world over. We are thinking of irrigation in MGDs and trillions of gallons of storage and billions of tons of concrete. And 30% transmission losses and evaporation. You see, I see a very bright end of the tunnel with this session. And somebody is talking about liters, 500 liters irrigation, 2,000 liters irrigation. drop per crop for fashion talk is okay, but that does not show us a solid result. Here is something. And if I see the next 50 years of human civilizations will have to build itself along this line. Thank you.
Amazing thing is Israel being such a dry part of the world, they export food to the Middle East because of their most efficient irrigation, and started 50 years ago by NetFM, drip irrigation, but now they've made it so sophisticated that small amounts of water can grow a large crop. And that is something the whole world has learned from Israel.
Metafilm drip irrigation demands very high pressure. Here, Alex mentioned gravity feed.
Yeah.
There's a world of difference.
Yeah.
What Netafilm saves on water, it takes away on power generation.
Okay.
So net gain is important.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Good point.
Beauty of this product,
Yeah.
as we consume water, the bag collapses. So there is no contamination through air. All stiff containers, they give us water, but they suck in air. And that air, we don't know how reliable it is. So this volume and water use versus collapsing and refilled, this is something, it isolates this particular product from contamination. Thank you, Alex.
All these days we were thinking about billions of gallons. See, even when we speak to government, right, what they say is we will do Krishi Honda, which is basically a small pond inside your farm, right? Or if you talk to anybody else, right, they will say one katte kattona, okay, which is like one small storage structure. Nobody talks about modular things, interconnected modular things, right? And this is where Alex has demoed it today. And Dr. Hari, you might agree with me, once upon a time a biogas plant or a gobar gas plant used to be such bulky things, right? And today it is all small packs of bladders where they hold balloon gas in the form of a ballooning it, right? The same thing can be applied for the storage during the agriculture. But yeah, there are few challenges, I say, because Indian agriculture, just think about paddy kind of a thing, right? The main challenge would be to collect the water into these modules, which again is energy intensive, and there is a small little purification stuff involved. But yeah, if planned well, this is a future.
It takes us to mass transfer equations, which is often applied in sewage management, but in fact it should be applied for agriculture. How many molecules of CO2 plus H2O give us one glucose? Because that is where the crop vegetation comes from.
Okay.
Vegetation is CO2 plus H2O. The rest is done by the nature.
Now, if I go with what Ganesh said about interconnected modular systems that Alex is offering.
No, but so far all agriculturists I have asked in last my 25 years of learning, no, they give you acre and inch or foot per acre kind of water supply,
Correct.
Not vegetation. I am looking for an equation for CO2, H2O to so much gram of kg or kg of vegetation. Once we have that answer, then only LX module can be applied.
Dr. Raval, it's all about perspectives, right? You come from a different perspective, and the farmers are looking at from a different perspective, right?
Let California answer it. Dr. Raj can dig out from some of his friends. You see, the key issues we should identify and then work on that. Otherwise, Professor Arun in one of the sessions earlier said, I know I am right, you know you are right, but collectively we all are wrong. Such a beautiful expression. You see, we have so much of technology. We know how much of water is there on various planets and galaxies and stars and all that.
Sure.
And we are talking about water crisis, which is supposed to be the best planet through water expression.
how does the costing work in these cases? For a country like India, I mean, when we are talking of huge quantities of water which needs to be transported, here it's possible to do it in smaller quantities as well as large quantities. But how would the costing compare with what we have in place here?
Alex, I shared what was shared by the WildCARP folks to make the case to the EPA, which is for this emergency water, but you also have the ongoing water. But what's interesting here is $40,000 for the WildCARP versus $182,000 if they were to have shipped in for this emergency, perhaps in Haiti or Venezuela, wherever they have a need for pallets of water. You get the waste from the single use, but you also get the waste from all of that transport that's involved that isn't even accounted for in the cost savings. But Alex, I'll let you comment on that.
Yeah, we did, I need to find it out. We did about a couple of years ago, we did a calculation of, we took the data of Sandy, the Hurricane Sandy, because we had the numbers of how much water was shipped mainly by bottles to New York area. By the way, till today, I heard that emergency management in New York has storehouses full of empty bottled water from Sandy. They couldn't get rid of it, but it's, and I don't remember the number. I can look it out and send it to you, but it's huge difference between shipping bulk water and shipping bottled water. I can tell you regarding the purification system, that if you take the Easy Purer working on solar, and you calculate the cost of water, which is basically changing the membranes yearly, and the cost of installing the system for a 10 years period, the cost of producing 1 liter in such a system is about 1 cent.